batter for Minnesota who will try to do so is the aforementioned Maggie Werner, playing first base, coming off a 2-for-10 series against Wisconsin, but hitting well above 300 on the year.
And for Werner, she's just been everything for Minnesota, leading the team in batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, walks, runs, stolen bases, almost every offensive category. And she's second behind Tara Wallacco, who we'll see later in the order, in all of the slugging categories. So she has been really remarkable for this team.
Well, Mason falls behind 1-0 early on in this one as we are underway around the top of the hour. Time called here. This time, Marina Mason gets off to a good start at the belt.
An existential question, Calvin. Was it underway after the pitch that was not truly a pitch? Or did we need that second real pitch to actually start the proceedings?
Something to wonder about for generations to come. As Mason fires, misses high.
She's cut down on the walk rate as the season has gone on. It's still been a bit of a bugaboo for her in Big Ten play, Marina Mason. 55 free passes allowed in her 131 in the third innings. And Werner is the most selective hitter in this Gopher lineup.
And she takes a pitch inside. Marina Mason will try to maintain her control early. She's generally been good about that. Eighth in the Big Ten in strikeouts to walk ratio at 2.65.
Werner, the only Golden Gopher regular with an on-base percentage above 360. She's all the way up at 435. That's how much better she's been at working her way aboard than the rest of her teammates.
Count is 3-1 for Werner, who will try to get something going, get an opening base runner for this Golden Gopher squad. Mason looks to get back, but misses low and inside for ball 4.
That's what Werner wants to do. Again, she is the biggest base-stealing threat for this Minnesota team, but I don't expect Minnesota to run on Emma Ray at all this weekend. They are not a very fast group, and Ray throws out a lot of runners.
So now that brings up the catcher, Cassie Johnson, a 2-for-9 series against the Badgers with a home run. She hacks it one foul, straight into the screen.
Yeah, the numbers for Johnson are not where she'd like them to be, but does have that OBP up at 344. She's become more selective as the season's gone on. This is such a young Golden Gopher lineup.
Johnson checks her swing, but takes strike 2. So a good reset after a 5-pitch walk for Marina Mason. Mason comes set in the next offering. Misses upstairs.
Mentioning the youth for Minnesota, just 3 players on this roster listed as seniors, Calvin. One of them, Breezy Burnett, we haven't seen all season. The other 2 still have eligibility, that being Werner and Schwartz, for another season if they so choose. So no players potentially graduating this season for Minnesota.
1-2. Just outside. Mason couldn't quite paint the corner, and that's something that Piper Ritter in her 6th season as head coach for Minnesota has tried to do, is establish a foundation for this team going forward. Team that's still fighting to make the Big Ten tournament, but not in the spot it wanted to be. The 2-2, again, just misses slightly away.
Yeah, Mason not as pinpoint as she's been over the last couple weeks to start this game. Just not locked in with her location. Couple good takes from Johnson here to work this count full.
3-2 count. Chopped right up the middle. Donahue has a play and gets the runner at first, not the lead runner, who advances to second. Marina Mason gets her first out of the inning, albeit now with a runner in scoring position.
That's the benefit of the speed of Werner. You know, with that slowly hit ball, no chance for Donahue to make a play on her at second. Now you've got her in scoring position for the middle of this order.
So now that brings up the number 3 hitter, Tinley Easton. As Mason steps back onto the rubber with 11 pitches so far. Another weak ground ball. This time Nieto at second has a chance to get the out.
These are some really aggressive hitters in the middle of this Minnesota lineup. Easton, you saw a first pitch hunting right there, just 5 walks on the season. She's a player who will swing at a lot of first pitches. Same can be said for Jessa Snippus, who's coming up here. She takes a few more walks, but another player is going to be aggressive early in counts.
Now with 2 outs and a runner at third, Mason trying to find a way to get out of a mini jam as Snippus fouls that one off. Mason getting ground ball contact to start off, but she got a lot of swings and misses last time out. 11 strikeouts in Game 3 of the Purdue series.
And again, this is a Golden Gopher lineup that wants to attack first pitches. We've seen 3 consecutive first pitch swings now from Minnesota. They don't want to let Mason get them to 2-strike situations.
She does there with a perfectly placed pitch right on the outside edge. So 0-2 on Snippus, the cleanup hitter. Brooklyn Jones, the right fielder, stands on deck. Next pitch. Skips in the dirt. Ray keeps it in front of her. Snippus had a walk and a hit in 9 at-bats last series against Wisconsin. Minnesota got swept. Of course, the Cats swept Purdue in their last series. Next pitch, check fouled the right side.
Well, good bat speed by Snippus there, catching up to that rise ball up top. Again, Mason does not have that, put away velocity. He got that one up to 67. That's about as fast as she'll get the velocity going. Snippus still able to cover that up above the top of the zone.
Well, you mentioned her ability to mix pitches. We'll see if she does it here at 1-2. On the way and outside again. Marina Mason has attacked that outside corner against righties.
Would almost like her to see her go back to the rise ball in this spot. Snippus has shown a willingness to swing up and out of the zone.
2-2 with a runner on third. Mason goes. And again, same spot, same result.
Erin Peterson's been very consistent on that outside corner. These pitches are away, and she's not giving them that extra little piece off the outside edge.
Mason did walk 7 batters in her Game 1 start against Purdue. And she's walked a second one today. Runners on the corners for Minnesota.
And you mentioned, here comes the hottest hitter for the Golden Gophers in Brooklyn Jones. So not a situation where Mason wanted to lose Snippus there. She's just struggled to execute these pitches on the margins in 2-strike counts. Had opportunities to put away Johnson and Snippus. Now runners at the corners with 2 away.
So Jones, who has a 3-game hitting streak, 4-game on-base streak, steps in and takes inside.
She's just not hitting spots right now, Mason, and she's making Emma Ray's glove move a lot more than usual.
Definitely don't want to drive the pitch count up too early in Game 1. Mason gets a call there on the inside edge. That one very close to the strike zone, but the count is even.
You see the runners here. A lot of teams would try to run Snippus in this situation, but it's not a Minnesota strategy. They will leave her at first.
1-1 gets chopped down left side. Long throw across the diamond is in time from Medina.
Well, it's really interesting for Sousa making her 9th start of the year. Yet last year against Northwestern, she had a really great outing in relief in the Saturday game of that series, which Minnesota ended up losing 3-2. She was a hard luck loser. 4 2/3 innings, 2 hits, just 1 run allowed, and 6 strikeouts for Sousa, who was dominant in that game.
A lot of these coaching decisions matchup based, and you have to wonder if that outing played a role today.
Well, here's the thing, right? She came back on Sunday, got the start, 1 1/3, gave up 6 runs on 7 hits. So I think Piper Ritter hoping she can recapture that Saturday magic from last season and maybe avoid some of the Sunday struggles.
She now has 1-1 against Grace Nieto at the top of the order. Next pitch just escapes low.
But this whole Wildcat lineup has seen Sousa before. They were all playing in that game last year, except for McHugh and Medina at the bottom, who are both first years. The rest of this team, all 7 of the top 7 in the lineup, saw Sousa multiple times last season.
Sudo winds and throws. And she gets the called strike on the inside edge. So 2-2 against Grace Nieto, who is relatively patient at the plate. 39 walks this season.
If she's only relatively patient, I'd love to see who's really patient. Already 9th in program history in walks in a single season, Grace Nieto, with room to improve over the last couple weeks of this season.
She now readies for a 2-2 from Sousa. And she gets hit by it. That is her second hit by pitch of this season.
Kind of remarkable. 39 walks and only 2 hit by pitches, but she'll take the base. It looks like. I mean, that was the original call.
Unless they're saying it hit the knob of the bat, but it looks like from that angle, I mean, she was hit by it.
I guess that was the indication by Aaron Peterson there. Wildcats have made the adjustment. Our crew's made the adjustment too.
It's going as smoothly as you could expect as the first pitch to Avasado gets in there at the knees for strike one. And like I was mentioning earlier, I mean, this is a point where it really gets the power of the Northwestern lineup. Avasado with 8 homers, and then Ray, the big power hitter for Northwestern. She chops at the 0-1, sends it down third base side, and nice play made by Easton. Nice scoop by Werner for the first out.
Always good to get Avasado. She has been almost as hot as Ray over these last 10 games, hitting well above 400. So you retire her, you're feeling good. Great job by Sousa just getting Avasado to swing over the top of that one. But there is a runner in scoring position for Emma Ray, and that this season has been big problems for Northwestern opponents.
Ray 11th in the Big Ten in RBIs with 54 entering today, 16th in slugging percentage at 789. She has 13 home runs. She takes the first pitch inside.
And again, over the last 10 games, .515 average. She's slugging above 1,000 and has driven in 19 runs in just a 10-game span. Has thrived in the middle of this Wildcat order.
She's become maybe an unlikely top hitter on this team. Certainly someone who had a lot of talent entering the year, but maybe not the person that fans would have projected to be the number 3 hitter all the time as she fouls one off.
Fouled it off her foot right there, so she's going to need a second to walk it off. But yeah, you wouldn't have expected her to be at the top of this lineup and doing that job. Certainly, she has really improved her contact ability. She's really improved her barrel rate, right? I mean, that's a stat that's become more prominent in baseball, but just the amount of line drives off her bat has really gone up. Just not a lot of weak pop-outs, weak ground-outs.
1-1. Long delivery from Sousa. And she gets the strike call. I'm not sure Ray loved the call. A lot of inside corner pitches to righties that have been getting the benefit of the doubt for these pitchers.
Well, and that's what Sousa wants to be. She wants to be right on that inside edge where the Wildcat hitters cannot get their hands all the way extended through the ball. She's working the edges of the zone very well right now.
1-2. Upstairs again.
And Sousa is another one of those pitchers who doesn't have all the speed in the world. She's not even going to hit really 65 all that often. She's a spin pitcher. She's a location pitcher. She's trying to keep the ball away from the strong points for a batter.
Count even in the next offering to Ray. Popped straight up. Foul territory right side, and it disappears beyond the fence.
Another good pitch from Sousa. She missed the intended spot there, but able to still keep it outside enough that Ray couldn't really get through it with all of her power.
Sousa, we mentioned someone who's appeared in a lot of games, just 8 starts this season in her 26 appearances. So number 9 today. 2-2. Hammered. Left field, and it's caught near the track by Snippus, who makes the throw in and keeps the runner at second. A nice throw.
Can handle that.
Well, now Kansas Robinson steps in. She checks her swing, still gets a piece of it, foul.
Robinson has been chugging along, still at that 266 average. She still has so much pop in that bat. 10 home runs on the year. Bridget Donahue behind her has been so dangerous as well of late.
Now she awaits the 0-1 pitch. Another one low. This time Robinson does not bite, and the count evens up. And like Minnesota in the top of the first, Northwestern threatening with a runner in scoring position, but now has 2 outs. Sousa's next pitch is taken away this time.
Most teams have tried to pitch Kansas Robinson outside, outside, outside all year. You keep it low and away, it's very difficult for her to get her power behind the ball. The problem is, in general, she's a low ball hitter. So if you leave it low and down the middle, she's going to make it hurt. Got to be very careful if you're Sousa here.
She looks to pounce on 2-1. Swings, hits it over to short. Tough play, can't quite get made. Kuhn throws to home, tag is down, runner's safe. Nieto gets in by the tag, and Northwestern takes a 1-0 lead.
Kate Drohan is one of the most aggressive third base coaches in the country. She will send, and it pays off this time, the gamble. Bit of a mishandle on the initial play. There's a difficult ball, probably never going to get Robinson at first, but had plenty of time to pick it up and throw out Nieto. The throw hops a little bit. Nieto gets the leg in underneath. I think that's a good call. Very difficult tag to make there. You can see Grace Nieto's left foot looks like it touches the base just before that tag swipes across. Aggression pays off.
Now Bridget Donahue takes to the plate and takes a strike. You said it, Noah. The aggression giving the Cats their first run. And if it weren't for Nieto's little leg extension at the end there, I mean, she might not have made it through the tag. It was a very close play, but she got her foot on the base.
Robinson did a great job advancing on the throw to get back to scoring position for Donahue.
The 0-1's fouled off, so suddenly a 2-strike count with 2 outs for Donahue.
Donahue, another player, has just been red hot. Highest slugging percentage of her career by over 100 points for the senior shortstop at .689 this season.
Sousa looks to put her away here on 0-2. Pitch outside. That was actually where Johnson was squared up for it, so probably just looking for Donahue to chase.
Well, 1-2 here on Donahue. She's not a player who's going to chase very often. Look for Sousa to go back inside, try to jam her up.
The next pitch. Donahue hacks at it, foul. You said it, it's inside.
Yeah, 2 inches off the plate in. That's about exactly where Sousa wants to put it. Too close for Donahue to take, but too far inside for her to do anything with it. Best case there is a ground out to third if you're Donahue and you're putting the ball in play. So if she can stay in that area, it's going to be difficult for Donahue to do anything with it.
She looks to add to an early 1-0 Northwestern lead. Sousa fires. Another foul ball right side.
Well, that was a mistake. Sousa tried to go right back in, but you saw she left that pitch middle in instead. Donahue just missed it. Ends up fouling it back to the screen, but that could have been screaming 80 miles an hour the other way.
It looked like Sousa was going to maybe keep the pitch count down this inning, but it's up to 22 pitches so far with 23 on the way. The next 1-2. Swing and a miss. Sousa blows away Donahue. It's been a lot of fun to watch the softball that has taken place with the 12 home games in all for Northwestern in Rosemont, about a 40-minute drive from Evanston, as Mason delivers an opening strike to begin the second inning against Tara Wallacco.
It's actually the second strike of the at-bat there.
0-2, pardon me. Next pitch. Check swung on and fouled down the line. Wallacco was 1 for 8 against Wisconsin with 3 strikeouts last weekend. She looks to bounce back, hitting nearly 300 on the year, and pops one up foul.
Yeah, it's probably the reason for her dropping down in the order a little bit. She's been one of Minnesota's best hitters all season long. Certainly their best power hitter, but really struggled against the Badgers in that rivalry matchup last week. Did a great job staying alive on that last changeup. Look for Mason to go up in the zone here.
0-2 again, the pitch up in the zone and fouled off once again.
Well, Wallacco has great bat speed. If Mason wants to strike her out up high, going to need to go a little higher than that. We've seen her go back-to-back rise balls occasionally. She likes to change up a little better, but she'll go to that pitch for an out every so often.
Another 0-2 incoming. Cold strike 3. Marina Mason finds her spot. That's her first strikeout today. We mentioned she had 11 in her last outing. Gets one looking.
And if you're Wallacco, you have to be guessing either change up or rise ball here. Instead, she gets neither. That ball just settles right in over the outside corner. 65 miles an hour right at the knees. Might have been a little low. Emma Ray helps it out a little bit and gets the K.
First pitch inside, taken by Scarlett Kuhn, coming off a 1-for-7 series with a double in Game 2 against the Badgers.
So one of the real issues Minnesota had against Wisconsin, they did not get any production from the middle part of their lineup. That middle 4 or 5 really struggled in that series. Now they've moved some of those players down a little bit. They really need this bottom 4, Wielako, Kuhn, Hooper, and Cosgriff, to create something.
Well, Mason is behind in the count, 2-0, now 3-0.
It's a lot easier to create if you get part of it created for you. They would certainly take the free pass.
Pitch finds her spot this time, right on that inside edge. (3-1), popped up high, over to second base, and a nice clean snatch by Grace Nieto picks up the second out of the inning for the Wildcats.
And still Minnesota has not left the infield yet. They're just having a very hard time squaring up anything Mason's throwing. It's been a consistent issue for opponents in the last couple weeks. Marina Mason, in those last 10 games I talked about, where she's been 8-0, 4 complete games in that time, multiple shutouts. In that period, Calvin, she's allowing an opponent batting average of just 147. Carried a couple no-hitters very deep in that time frame.
Now Lucy Hooper steps in as Mason looks to get the third out. First pitch bunt attempt goes foul.
And Hooper, a player who typically likes to go to that slap or bunt route. 22 hits on the season, only 1 of them for extra bases. She keeps the ball on the ground in the infield a lot of the time.
She sometimes comes in as a runner as well. Did not have an at-bat last series against Wisconsin as she fouls one off, but went 1-for-4 against North Dakota in the team's last win, a 6-2 victory on April 21st.
And she was really an everyday starter for this team for most of the season. And then, like you said, against Wisconsin, kind of fell out of the lineup a little bit. Junior infielder, so valuable defensively. Just hasn't gotten that bat going all season for the Golden Gophers.
She wisely took a pitch outside. Now the 1-2. Check swing fouled off again. So Mason's pitch count rising near 40 as she looks to get out of the second inning.
Well, they're not too worried about the pitch count for Mason, especially early on in the game. She threw 150 pitches against Purdue on Friday to open that series last week. Came back and threw a complete game on Sunday.
1-2 chopper. Play made by Donahue. And that ends the inning. So a much smoother second for Marina Mason.
Absolutely. And look, a little Northwestern Minnesota conversation right there, crossing team lines.
First pitch goes to Kelsey Nader and is a routine out at first base. So before we even get to introduce Northwestern's right fielder, she goes down to Sousa, and that's a quick start for Minnesota.
And that's what you want with Nader. You want to roll it over on the ball, ground ball outs. Good coverage by Werner. Something to note, we didn't mention it at the time, but Northwestern went to a 5-woman infield against Lucy Hooper to help secure that out. They've done that a few times this year against slap hitters. It works really well because you have Kaylee Avasado in center field, Calvin, who was the starting shortstop last year. So you plug her into the infield, I don't think you're too worried about her acclimating to that position.
Yeah, Northwestern had the luxury of having so much depth in this infield that they could move Avasado to center from the start of the season, and it was a bit of a surprise, but has allowed for some flexibility like this. As the 0-1 misses inside.
And honestly, Avasado's played a great center field. She's made a couple diving catches this year. She just covers ground really well. Player with so much natural athletic ability, and her reads on fly balls have really been very strong this year. She gets a lot of great first steps, sees the ball very well out there.
Now Sousa looks in, 1-1 on Izzy Kania. Kania rockets one right up the middle for a base hit.
For Izzy Kania, actually hasn't had much experience against the Golden Gophers. Last season, she was injured for that series. One of only a few games she's missed, one of only a few series she's missed in her Wildcat career, so some of her first action against Minnesota, and she's getting into the hit column right away. Right back through the middle. That's what you want to do. It's the pitcher's not throwing too hard. Time it up. Don't get out in front of it and roll over. Send it right back through the box.
Well, now Tegan McHugh, the designated player, steps up, hitting over 300 this season. She's someone who can hit for contact and watches one in the dirt for ball one.
First year had a very strong start to the season, especially in a pinch hitting role. It's been a bit of a struggle in Big Ten play, but had a huge hit in a pinch hitting role last weekend against Purdue. Wildcats hoping that can kickstart the lefty, who's hit a lot of line drives this year. Not a lot of extra base hits. Plenty of line drive ability to all fields.
This one she pops up to even the count.
Another thing McHugh has done well for a first year, 6 Ks and 36 at bats. It's not the best number that you want, but you add in the 5 walks. Her K rate is below 15%. For a first year in the Big Ten, that's a really good number. That's about where Northwestern wants it to be. So that part of her game is really impressed. She's put the ball in play with a lot of consistency.
She awaits the 1-1. Swings and misses on it, so that time chasing, and it was a little bit early on the pitch, but I mean, certainly both her and True Medina on deck, fellow first years for Northwestern, who Kate Drohan has sought to give immeasurable experience. Medina, of course, an everyday player for this team, and they've really grown into their roles throughout the year. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss again, so Natalie Sousa's strikeout stuff has showed up a couple times today. She has a pair.
Well, 2 great pitches right there. 2 that McHugh would have wanted to lay off of, but Sousa starting those pitches on the outside corner and just running them away. There's no way hitters are going to be able to make contact with those, especially if they're out in front of them. McHugh goes down swinging. Great location for a big strikeout for out number 2.
Sousa had 1 strikeout in 3 innings in her last appearance against Wisconsin, but has 2 today, and True Medina takes first pitch strike on the inside corner.
The natural switch hitter. We saw Medina take a couple at bats from the left-hand side over the last couple of weeks. She's been hitting mostly righty in the Big Ten season. Doesn't change based on the handedness of the pitcher. It's based on the matchup.
And now the 0-1 hits her in the helmet. So True Medina takes that one on the chin, or on the brim of the helmet, I should say, and goes over to first.
Well, it's continuing a trend. Last week against Purdue, Medina had fewer than half as many at-bats as plate appearances. She worked 4 free passes in that series. And already on board, on base for free here. It's a lefty-heavy lineup for Northwestern, and it's looked like Sousa has been more comfortable against those lefties than against the righties so far.
Now the exceptionally patient Grace Nieto, left-hander, steps in and whacks one right up the middle, gets a base hit. This could drive in a run, and it does. Northwestern takes a 2-0 lead as Kania takes her slide into home plate.
Well, a good decision out in center by Cosgriff to not try to test Kania. She already had a good jump on that ball, was almost certainly going to score. That would have just advanced a couple runners, but a great piece of hitting by Nieto, who was patient last at bat, worked the hit by pitch. This time goes up, ready to swing. She hasn't done a lot of first pitch swinging this year, so Sousa just trying to get one over, gets punished by Nieto taking it back through the middle for the second hit of the inning.
Avasado steps back in for her second at-bat and takes one just off the plate.
You can see how Sousa deals with a player who's known as a first pitch swinger, right? To Avasado, not going to give her anything too good. Aiming for that outside corner. Nieto tried to slip one by over the middle and ended up being a mistake.
Avasado looking to extend a 24-game on-base streak. Just a 4-game hit streak, but she's had hits in almost every game this season as she takes a strike.
Really a metronomic hitter, so consistent in her ability to put bat on ball. You talk about a low strikeout rate. Kaylee Avasado's is down below 10%. And you can see last weekend, just so consistent, putting the ball in play and getting on base.
She awaits the 1-1, hacks on it straight up in the air. Playable in center field, and it's snatched up to end the inning by Cosgriff. All 3 of these guys are with Kate Drohan.
Or Carroll.
Or Carroll.
Or Carroll. Let's not rule out Carroll, okay?
How about they're with both of them?
Absolutely. But then it would say I'm with Drohan's, you would think. Maybe they've each chosen one Drohan and they're keeping it secret.
Well, how did they break the tie of which Drohan gets 2 and which Drohan gets 1? There's 3 of them. They have to figure it out.
It's an excellent question.
As Jake Cosgrove takes strike 2, as she'll look to come back off of what was a solid series for her against Wisconsin, a 3 for 8 3-game stretch with an RBI. She did strike out 3 times, though. Mason wants to get her here on 0-2. Misses way high up at the helmet.
Cosgrove, the 3rd most strikeouts on the team with 23. And just the 7 free passes entering play today. Has been a very aggressive hitter.
Time called.
You can see Mason, that's not the ball strike ratio she'd like. Would want it to be a little more consistent. She wants to have that strike percentage above 60. She's right at 57% right now.
1-2. Powered foul down the first base side.
Cosgrove has a lot of speed. She showcases it in center field a good amount. Hasn't been able to use it quite as much on bases.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out, and the pitch again upstairs. So Marina Mason has been tasked with getting her control more consistent, and with a couple of pitches that were nowhere near the strike zone, she's still seeking to do that. 2-2. It's popped to the left side, fielded over at third. Medina tries to make the play. Robinson couldn't quite get it, so it'll be interesting to see whether that scored an infield single or an error on the third baseman, but good job by Cosgrove beating it out.
Again, there she's showing the speed, so, hasn't stolen so many bases on the year, just 2 for 2 in that category, but able to leg that one out on a tough play there for Medina. I think she got the ball over in time, but that was always going to be a very tricky play, and Robinson couldn't quite come up with the pick. They're calling it an E5. Bit of a hard luck error for Medina, who, after starting the season with a lot of errors, has cleaned it up a bit of late.
She still leads the team with 21 now on the season, but like you said, has been much better about it as the season has progressed. Understandable, of course, for a freshman getting introduced to Big Ten competition, as next pitch gets popped up. Ray is under it and makes the clean play.
Well, that's a big out for Northwestern. Werner, the toughest player in this lineup, to retire. And to get her out while keeping Cosgrove at first is certainly a win. Meanwhile, we received some information on those gentlemen with the great shirts that we showed at the start of the inning. There is a brother of Carol and Kate Drohan among that group, so potentially the I'm with Drohan shirts actually refer to him, another Drohan.
Or 3 refer to 3 different ones.
They could all be different Drohans.
And it's all even.
Yeah, then you don't have to break the tie anymore if you go 1-1-1.
Cassie Johnson is 0 for 1 today. We'll look to bounce back here. Like we mentioned early on, had a home run against Wisconsin. Her series was highlighted by a 2 for 2 day in game 3. And she checks on one upstairs. No swing, says the first base umpire.
Well, Northwestern would love a double play ball in this situation. Johnson, a catcher, doesn't run very well. It's a prime double play opportunity. She grounded out to shortstop back in the first.
1-1 pitch. Again inside, called strike. And both of these pitchers, Mason and Sousa, have found a chance to really attack that inside edge of the zone and get some borderline calls.
They've been very consistent in there, both pitchers.
Now ahead in the count, the 1-2 is whacked over to short. Donahue has been busy, throws to second, gets 1. Throw to first is not in time from Nieto.
Well, that was that potential double play ball Northwestern was looking for, but just pulled Donahue a little too far into the hole for her to really be able to turn that quickly enough to get to. Wildcats will take the lead runner. This is a situation where you might expect Minnesota to run for Johnson. They don't have a ton of pinch runners that they use too frequently that are not in the lineup right now.
One of the issues for this Minnesota squad has been depth. There's just not a lot outside of their typical everyday hitters that they can go to in a pinch.
Yeah, I guess the choice would be Carter Raymond, who's been used as a pinch runner 18 times this year. But she's really it. So you maybe want to save her for a little later in the game if a bigger opportunity presents itself.
Count is 1-1 against Tinley Easton, who grounded out in her first time up. Hasn't had a hit since game 1 against Wisconsin. back on April 24th. Next pitch skips in the dirt. Ray looks at first and gives it back up to Mason instead.
Well, it's a tough spot because Easton is a doubles hitter. She has 7 of them on the year, but a double doesn't necessarily score Johnson here, although with the big park at Rosemont, much better chance.
2-1 pitch. Off speed, right at the knees for a strike.
Little drop action on that changeup, just fell off the table, but right into the glove of Ray. Stayed high enough to be a strike.
Marina Mason would like to get out of this inning quickly. Inside pitch, she does not get it. It's almost clipping the plate, and the count is full.
Well, right on the edge. I mean, that is a difficult take for Easton there, just able to lay off.
We'll see what she can do with a full count. The pitch, just outside. So quite the vision from Tinley Easton to work a walk there. That's Mason's 3rd today, and that one was well earned by the third baseman.
Yeah, a couple very close pitches. Easton gave up on that last one pretty much right away. This pitch is away. You can see where Ray catches it. She frames it pretty well, but it does look like it gets just outside of the zone from our angle. Maybe a little high as well.
Now Jessa Snippus comes back to the dish. She lays off on one, and that's a tough one for her to hit right at the knees for a strike, given how tall she stands in the batter's box.
Yeah, Snippus, one of the taller players on this Minnesota team. They list her at 5'9". Bigger zone, always tough.
Next pitch, low.
Baseball is a bit of an anti-tall person sport. The shorter you are, the smaller your strike zone is. That's just what the rules say. Tough for those of Jessa Snippus and her tall ilk.
She still managed to get a walk in the first. Pops one up here, foul territory. Emma Ray makes a snatch, can't quite do it in the dugout.
It was in her glove for a second, but just didn't have the glove flipped the right way. So as she, contacted the railing, ball just popped right out of there. Tough play along the opposing team's dugout.
Credit to Ray for just sprinting straight for it. She reaches over, she had it right there and just lost it right behind the dugout right there.
You needed to flip that. I mean, easy for me to say, of course. I wasn't sprinting in catcher's gear at the ball, but would have needed to flip that glove over to hold on to it.
Now the 1-2 walloped over to right for a base hit. Mishandled in the outfield by Nader. She throws it in Minnesota plates its first run of the day. The Golden Gophers are only down 2-1 in the top of the 3rd.
Well, so Ray had an opportunity to make the catch, can't do it, and Snippus makes her pay. This is a great piece of hitting. Mason leaves this ball with a little too much of the plate. Didn't get as far down as she wanted it to. Snippus able to guide it over the head of Robinson, and then Nader just doesn't field it cleanly. Would have had a play if she could have come up with that ball. Instead, not only does the run score, but Easton advances to 3rd.
Another ball on the ground, long throw for Medina, but she makes the play and retires the side. Northwestern was dangerously close to allowing Minnesota to tie the game. Instead, the Wildcats come up to the dish.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Ready to face Richardson for the first time today. She takes the first pitch in there, got on with a hit by a pitch in the first, and of course had the single you just saw.
Richardson has worked that changeup very well. Just the 4th batter she's faced today, but has not used it in standard situations. See, starting her off with it there.
Now the 0-1, low and away. And these Minnesota pitchers we've mentioned, 2 runs for Northwestern on the board, but overall, got to be pleased with where things stand in the bottom of the 5th.
Certainly, if you're using Sousa and Richardson, this is exactly what Piper Ritter would have wanted from them. They've done a great job. She's worked them in the same game as each other a lot of the time this year. It's interesting, they're not so different as pitchers. The spin is a little bit different, but they both have similar velocities, similar pitch mixes. We've seen Richardson go to the changeup a little bit more often and go outside more than inside.
Well, it's worked so far. The 2-1 attempted frame job from Johnson is unsuccessful.
Honestly, that might have been a strike, but Richardson has missed her spot so bad there. Johnson wanted it inside corner and said it was outside corner. difficult assignment for a catcher.
Now Richardson sits behind in the count. The 3-1 to Nieto. Fouled off to the left.
That was exactly what Nieto wanted there, teeing off. Got a pitch right in the middle of the zone. Couldn't do anything with it.
Payoff pitch incoming. As Grace Nieto looks to work her way on base. Richardson winds and delivers. Swing and a drive to right center. Long run forward and it drops. One hop off the wall. Cosgrove scoops, Nieto's digging for third, and she slides in. Grace Nieto has reached base 3 times today and has 2 hits. Now she stands close to home plate.
In this ballpark.
A chance for Kaylee Avasado to drive in a run. She takes strike 1 in at the hands.
Might have been a pitch she wanted to hit. Minnesota's tried to bust Avasado in so far in this game. It's worked for the most part. Ground out and a fly out.
Next pitch up and away. Avasado needs to find a way to maintain that aforementioned 24-game on-base streak.
It's also for Richardson a little bit nervy here. She has 19 wild pitches, more than the rest of the team combined in 100 innings coming into play today.
1-1. Called strike at the knees on the outside edge. And for Avasado, there are options here. I mean, any ball that's a base hit would drive in a run. A sacrifice fly could drive in a run. Wild pitch, of course, could as well, though that would be the doing of Richardson. The 1-2 is ripped to left, but foul by a few feet.
What's interesting, you know, usually you expect a high wild pitch number to correspond with a high walk number. Richardson has actually been the best of the 3 pitchers that Minnesota uses in terms of walks, only 46 of them in 100 innings coming into today again. She's just, for whatever reason, lost a lot of pitches over the course of her season so far. Hanging in with Avasado right now.
The 1-2 skips in the dirt. Johnson gets straight in front of it.
I think part of it is she does like to use that changeup in the dirt a lot to try to tempt swings in 2 strike counts. Good block that time by Johnson.
Nieto stands on third base. Avasado is at the plate. 2-2. Called strike 3 on the breaking ball. The first strikeout for Macy Richardson comes on one of the best pitches of the afternoon.
Pitch around.
First pitch is inside, so not too far off the plate, but definitely not one that was necessarily aiming for the strike zone.
Well, certainly not a pitch around. You're not going there if you're trying to pitch around her. I think they're going to attack Ray. We'll see how wise that ends up being.
Still will be interesting to see how cautious Richardson is as she gets a swing and a miss. Again, attacking that inside part.
Pitch had great downward movement. Just dropped right out of the zone. Beautiful pitch by Richardson, who's really starting to get the spin going.
1-1 against Emma Ray, the top hitter on the Wildcats. Next pitch just upstairs. 2 balls and a strike.
Sometimes that high changeup can be oddly effective if it settles back into the zone, but that one stayed just above it.
Maybe a tempting pitch for Ray to swing at, but she didn't bite. 2-1. Next pitch, chopped foul.
Well, the strategy in this at-bat is clear. They're keeping the ball at the knees or lower and inside to inside off the plate on Ray. Trying to keep her from extending those hands.
Ray's looking for her first hit today. She had 1 hit in each game of the Purdue series last weekend, including a home run. Here comes the 2-2. Chopped into the dirt right behind Johnson.
Well, this is one of those situations where there's extra pressure on the batter, right? Ray knows she has got to put the ball in play here to score the run. So she ends up expanding her zone, maybe even more than she usually would on a 2-strike situation. Almost got her out right there, reaching for a pitch way out of the zone, but able to stay alive.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Ray rips one into left. Play is made. Runner heads home. Throw is in. Tag is down. Just a little too late. Grace Nieto once again sneaks under a tag, and Northwestern leads 3-1 on the Ray sacrifice fly.
Well, how hard luck has Emma Ray been? An absolute laser again. Her 3rd line drive of the game. Stayed back on that changeup. Caught it very clean. But right at Snippus out there, who made a good throw, but just not quite enough to get Nieto at the plate, who has scored 2 runs and driven in the other.
And now Robinson drives one into right for a base hit. And the Wildcats have woken up on offense in the bottom of the fifth.
Well, it's interesting, right? I mean, Northwestern in this game in general has only put 8 base runners on, which seems like a kind of a lot, but for the way this offense has been playing, it's not that much. 5 out of those 8 have been Robinson or Nieto.
Bridget Donahue tried to join that club for the second time today. She struck out and walked. And that one gets away from Johnson, and that allows Robinson to advance to second. Another chance in scoring position.
Wild pitch number 20. This is a bit of a hard luck one, though, for Richardson. You know, Johnson trying so hard to pick this ball. She has to understand her personnel. Robinson doesn't have a lot of speed on first. If she just turns over and blocks that, she's not going to take the base on her. Got to get down and block that ball.
Now the 1-0 to Donahue. Again on the inside corner for a strike.
And now it's a situation where you got a runner in scoring position. Any base hit will likely score another important insurance run.
1 ball, 1 strike, bottom of the fifth with 2 outs. Richardson goes. Donahue rips it up the middle for a base hit. Robinson's trying to score. Throw is offline, and the Wildcats lead 4-1. Donahue's still going all the way over to third on the throw into the infield.
And how important are the little things, Calvin? If Robinson's at first, she probably doesn't even get to third on that ball. It was hit so hard. Instead, the wild pitch moves her over to second. And instead of first and second for Minnesota with a 3-1 game, the bad throw makes it 4-1 and a runner on third base. Just one little wild pitch, one little catcher not turning over to block the ball can provide that much of a change in the situation, especially against a team that is as aggressive on the bases as Northwestern. Great piece of hitting from Donahue right back through the middle. She collects another RBI.
So Bridget Donahue driving in a run, and the threat is not over yet. Suddenly Minnesota, who has hung around in this game for a while, now trails by 3, their largest deficit.
Little scorekeeping note, they ended up calling that a passed ball to advance Robinson. So at least for now, that run is going to be unearned. If it was a wild pitch, it would be earned, but a pass ball makes it unearned, actually, on Richardson's tap.
And Donahue, of course, getting the single, advancing to third on the throw and error.
So a rare error for Jay Cosgriff there, only her 3rd of the year. And now Nader ahead in the count 2-0.
Kelsey Nader has sought to get going. She did against Purdue last weekend, 4 for 9 with a double and a triple. 2-0 from Richardson. Popped up, high and foul.
I will note on that 1-0 pitch that made it 2-0, Johnson did a good job of keeping that ball in front of her. Could have easily gotten by her to lead to the 5th run.
Northwestern leads the all-time series 67-66. Minnesota need a comeback to try to even that. 2-1. Grounded right off the first baseman Werner. It dribbles into the outfield and drives in another. 5-1 Northwestern as the runner gets to second. Nice job getting there from Nader.
The Wildcats just keep hitting and running. Small ball, small ball, small ball. Not a single extra base hit in this game for Northwestern. And they have still turned almost every hit into a run. We'll see whether that ends up being an error or a hit. Hard hit ball. I mean, that's a difficult play with Werner drawn in to ward against the bunt threat that Nader always poses. And then number 7 is running all the way on her senior weekend. I think that'll probably end up going in as a double, actually, but could be an E3. We'll see.
This inning has been characterized by little mistakes for Minnesota and base running decisions for Northwestern that have paid off. It's a 4-run lead for the Wildcats as a result, and Izzy Canilla wants more. First pitch to her. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Runner steals. Tag is down. Nader's safe and holds on to the bag.
What a little swim move there by Nader. That was remarkable. She saw that ball in the dirt and took off, even though it was blocked by Johnson. And Johnson makes a good throw. I mean, the ball beats Kelsey Nader, but watch her take the left hand back. There's just nothing to tag there. As Easton tries to reach across, beautiful slide to steal the base.
Now the 1-0 blocked by Johnson, who stares over at third.
It's actually 1-1. That first pitch at least should have been a strike. Canilla swung at it.
So now Nader stands over at third, and Canilla takes the next pitch for a strike, so 1-2, pardon me.
So the double officially by Nader gets her off of a cold stretch, her 8th double of the year. That's only her 6th stolen base of the year. She's been caught 5 times, but a great slide that time to avoid it.
The delivery, scooped up into right. Playable for Jones, who makes the snag, but Minnesota has suffered in this inning, allowing 3 runs to Northwestern. Got to give the month of May some grace. Still some time to work into its usual form. Mason's first pitch of the inning is in there for a strike to Brooklyn Jones.
Jones, coming off such a hot weekend last weekend, has struggled to not get out in front of the off-speed for Mason. 2 rollover ground balls to third.
Next pitch, bunt laid down for the first time today, but Mason cleans it up and throws to Robinson for the out.
Well, don't mind that at all by Brooklyn Jones. She just needed to get it a little farther up the first baseline to make Mason move a little more. Would have had a great chance in that instance. Instead, bunts it right at Mason. Mason's still learning a little bit about fielding her position. She's had some great moments fielding her position, some struggles, but makes that play well.
She now stands at exactly 100 pitches on the day as there's a conversation with the umpire. Looks like a pinch hitter coming in for Minnesota, at being Keely Cochran, who has seen some action. She played in Game 1 and Game 3 against Wisconsin last weekend. 0 for 2 combined in those.
Got to say, I'm very surprised by this. I know that Tara Wildcats has not had the last couple weeks that she would like to have. It's been slumping for sure, but in her second at-bat of this game, Wildcats hit the ball off the wall. It just happened to be 5 feet in foul territory. She's arguably had the hardest hit ball of the day for Minnesota. I know she ended up grounding out in that at-bat, but tough to not give her this at-bat here.
The 0-1 on the way. And it's taken upstairs, and I mean, you said it, Noah. Cochran coming in with a lot less experience than Wildcats, the first year who has not had a hit since February 27th against Arizona. So it's been a long time since she's gotten a hit of her own. 1-1. Makes it into the strike zone.
California native got a lot of starts early in the season and then just really cooled off the plate. 3 for 23, no extra base hits on the year. They clearly believe in what she's able to do at the plate. Just 4 walks, just 4 strikeouts for Cochran. She's done a great job putting the ball in play.
And she flails at the 1-2 upstairs. How about another strikeout for Marina Mason, her 3rd of the day?
Well, we call that a classic broadcaster jinx right there. Sorry to Keely Cochran. She can blame that strikeout entirely on me.
Good pitch, though, from Mason. Just rising up on Cochran and getting her to chase.
Okay, good point. She probably can't blame it entirely on me.
Maybe mostly is Kuhn check swings.
Kuhn saw the ball pretty well in her second at bat. Flew out to left, but got good contact on it. That inside pitch. Still, Mason's got to love the quickness with which she got those first 2 outs. It's been a while since she had a really clean inning. The fourth inning and the second inning are really the only ones where she's been totally clean, and even in the second, she had to work pretty hard.
Minnesota's going to have to work hard in these final 2 innings. Down to their last out in the 6th. Mason's 1-1. It's poked into the screen.
Well, if you're Northwestern, you want to leave it to a point where you feel confident that Marina Mason can come back in tomorrow if she needs to. Would be very surprised if they started her in that game, but they definitely will want to use her.
1-2 pitch. This is a little bit high and away, and that is in part the job of Mason herself to just keep her pitch count down as much as possible. They're going to want her to go the rest of this game most likely, but she's going to have to leave some stamina. Misses again.
Well, it's interesting. You know, first she has to get this out, obviously, and Kuhn has done a great job battling back to full. If Northwestern could add a little bit in the bottom of the 6th, suddenly you're not as concerned about Mason finishing the game. We'll see how all the pieces fall.
3-2. Called strike 3 at the knees. Marina Mason has had a couple strikeouts this inning. That's her 4th of the day.
First year for first year. Kate Renshin going to get a spot in the lineup for Tegan McHugh, who was 0 for 2 today.
Renshin appeared in the latter 2 games of the Purdue series, scored a run in game 2, but did not have an at-bat. Lays down a bunt foul.
Renshin has a ton of speed out of that lefty batter's box. Not really a slap hitter, though. Her first 2 career at-bats.
And slowly, I mean, like the other first years for Northwestern, developing into a bigger role. She takes a ball.
Wildcats are going to be counting on these players. Renshin, McHugh, Avery Garden, who's been in the mix at that DP spot, to play big roles next year, losing 4 starters in the defensive lineup.
Next pitch, check swung on, grounded over to short. Close play at first, runner is safe. Kuhn couldn't quite get the throw in time.
Well, it may not have been a pure slap from Kate Renshin, but she still got out of the box very quickly on that check swing ground ball. Really bang, bang play at first. Would have liked to see a little more urgency from Kuhn. Great stretch by Werner, but wasn't quite enough. You can see the foot speed from Renshin, and just barely beats it out. Looks like we'll have another pinch hitter here for Northwestern for Medina. If I had to guess, I would guess Abby Harvey, but we aren't sure yet. Oh, it's Riley Grudzalonic.
Wow.
We haven't seen her
That's
taking it bat in a long time.
Yeah, I don't blame you for not getting that guess. No, I wouldn't have gotten it either. Riley Grudzalonic steps in for the 6th time this season.
Grudzalonic got some at-bats early in the season. She's been used in mostly a pitching role down the stretch. Got a lot of at-bats last year in her sophomore season in the designated player role when Northwestern was trying to iron that out.
She now faces an 0-1 count against Richardson. Grudzalonic chops one, right side, flip to second, that's 1 out, but she does take her base over at first.
Well, not what Grudzalonic wanted, but the first time she's been on base this year, so she'll take that. It had been a difficult start to the season as a hitter for Grudzalonic, who was 0 for 5 with 4 Ks. And Medina will come back into pinch run, so that's it for Riley Grudzalonic today, but found a way on.
Her first at-bat since February 27th against Ohio State. And she did touch first base, get a chance to be out there briefly. She played last weekend as a pitcher, of course, against Purdue, game 2. Did not record an out and allowed 4 runs in that one in her start.
I think we might see her again in the circle tomorrow.
That pitch is grounded to second. Another chance at a double play, but again, they just get the lead runner. Medina is taken off the base passes. Nieto gets to first.
Well, for Grudzalonic, she had a great start against Minnesota last year, one of her best starts of her season. 7 innings, just allowed 2 runs, got the win in a 3-2 victory and a big win early in that series. I think we might see her start against Minnesota tomorrow as well. It hasn't been the greatest run of outings from her in the circle of late, but we'll see.
Kaylee Avasado is 0 for 3 today with her 24-game on-base streak in danger.
Gonna be her last chance.
Struck out her last time up. Looking to drive in Nieto from first. Next pitch. Just misses low. So a 2-0 count on Avasado as Richardson has been working since the 4th. Next offering inside.
Kaylee Avasado never been a player too concerned about personal gain. I would bet if you asked her, how many games in a row have you been on base, she would not have an answer for you. But still, 3-0. I think Kate Droyan is probably going to give her the green light here, but Avasado is still a player who is going to take 99% of the time in this spot.
Richardson deals. Right down the middle. Avasado looked like she might want to bite, but decided not to.
Well, a little outside. If you're swinging on 3-0, you really want it to be a pitch you can take for a ride. Probably wasn't quite that pitch for Avasado.
Johnson sets up with an inside target. 3-1.
Oh,
Called strike on the outside corner.
the generous definition of outside corner. I don't think we've seen a pitch that far outside called today.
So some noise from the fans. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Avasado. Payoff pitch. Roped into left. This one falls for a base hit. Nieto speeding to third. Throw comes in. It's offline. Rolls over to home, and Avasado takes second with ease. Kaylee Avasado has been on base in 25 games in a row, and Northwestern has 2 runners in scoring position.
Well, you can see from her dramatic reaction how much it means to her. No, just kidding, of course. Kaylee Avasado, one of the most even-keeled players you will see. Sets a great example for the rest of her team. She said, I'm not going to get the walk on 3-1, no worries. Laces one to the left center.
And arguably a better result. I mean, definitely a better result for Northwestern.
Certainly.
Now with a double, she has 2 runners in scoring position.
I do not think that will be officially classified as a double, but, you know, we could call it a double for now.
Ray takes a strike. We'll see what ends up getting decided. Still no official word in the scorebook yet. Nothing in 1.
Well, this is a big spot for Northwestern to break it open. If Ray can drive in a couple runs here, you definitely consider taking Mason out.
1 pitch. Not framed that time. In a similar spot, Noah, to where that 3-1 pitch was. As it does get called a single. Advanced to second on the throw. Definitely the right call there. Pitch is inside. Fouled off Ray. Maybe on her calf or some sort.
It might have been her ankle, which is the worst place to get it. On the inside of the ankle. Just, there's so much bone there without a lot of other things covering it. And Ray is not a player who wears a shin guard. If you get it off your ankle or your shin, it is just a ton of pain.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, right on the inside of the ankle. I mean, that's one of the places that hurts the most. If you're watching, I mean, obviously you're watching right now from home, you feel that little, oh, maybe the shin as well. That little ball on the inside of your ankle. The ball hits there, it feels very bad.
Well, she does get into a crouch, but...
You know, she's a rare player. Doesn't wear an elbow guard, doesn't wear a shin guard. Northwestern has a few of them, but you don't see it as often. Players who don't protect at all. For some players, they feel like it throws their swing off a little bit. You know, if you're not used to it, it can be a tough adjustment.
Emma Ray stands in for the 1-2. Here it comes. Ripped to left side. Another play made at third. Nice throw from Easton to bring it to the end of the inning.
Hasn't been the cleanest of outings for her, but that's just a testament to how good she is. Because even a non-clean outing is 2 hits over 6 innings without a single earned run allowed.
First pitch to Stengel is a called strike, and Marina Mason stepping in as a first year and getting so many complete games, ton of big outings, now tries to put things away, and she will likely get the chance to go the distance. The 0-1 skips in the dirt.
The wildest part is, Calvin, Mason is not who Northwestern thought would be their workhorse, their #1 coming into the season. She's developed into that role because she's come on so strong, willing to learn, willing to improve. That changeup has just gotten better and better as the season has gone on. She works so well with Emma Ray. And there's just so much hope for the future of this pitching staff. Not a single pitcher runs out of eligibility next year. They bring in 3 new arms next season, including one of the top 5 players in the country in Goose Goodwin, another great local recruit in Hunter Lewis. It's going to be a stacked pitching staff going forward for Northwestern.
That pitch crushed, but Nader sticks the glove up and makes the play. So that will certainly help the Wildcats next season to bring in some new recruits, get some depth, but Mason has established herself as the workhorse. No reason to think that would change next year, given how she's played in 2026.
You see Piper Ritter, she would love to add a couple of workhorses of her own. You know, another team that is really developing. I mentioned Northwestern not graduating a single pitcher. Minnesota potentially not graduating a single player. Piper Ritter's got to be excited about what the future might hold for this team, even after a disappointing season. You know, Minnesota has trended downwards in win total, Calvin, the last 4 years, but this is still a team with so much rich history and tradition. They have a lot of talent in the room. You know, they've missed Breezy Burnett this year, who would have been an important addition to this lineup, and defensive lineup especially. There's a lot of potential moving forward with Minnesota.
Cosgriff's pop-up goes into the glove of Nader, and Northwestern is 1 out away from picking up its 11th straight win, 10th in Big Ten play.
Would be win number 15 in Big Ten play. The Wildcats have been so consistent, putting together great records in conference. Of course, looking to make their 8th consecutive NCAA tournament The most of any non-West Coast Big Ten team as an active streak.
And they've definitely got to be thinking about the fact that if they get a sweep this weekend, their tournament odds dramatically improve and may not be guaranteed that they get in there, but that will be a pretty good resume. Next pitch to Werner misses again.
Werner been very patient all game long. Worked the walk to lead off the first.
Mason comes set, the 2-0. At the knees on the off speed, and she works her way closer to even.
Veteran leader for this Minnesota team. They certainly hope she returns next year for her final year of eligibility. She has done so much for this squad.
2-1. Misses upstairs. Werner has tried to get this team going today, but has a walk. He's 0 for 2 in at-bats. 3-1 coming from Mason to Werner. Pitch. Right down the middle for a strike.
Werner taking all the way there. She knows Minnesota is going to need some base runners if they want to pull a comeback here.
Marina Mason around 120 pitches. The 3-2 misses away and low. More so low as Ray couldn't make a play on it for a ball 4.
Just lost the grip on that one as Werner works her second walk. For Mason, 4 walks in 7 innings is not where she wants to be. 6 2/3 innings, especially with only 4 strikeouts. She's induced a lot of weak contact today, but definitely would like to clean up the command a little bit.
Now Cassie Johnson comes to the plate. She reached base on a fielder's choice and an error, but doesn't have a hit today. First pitch crushed into left. Kania dives and ends the game for the Wildcats. Marina Mason has her 13th complete game on the season, and it's the second diving catch for Kania that seals it. The Wildcats win 5-1.